Welcome back. I'm Josh Gitalis and we're going to make a tincture. We've talked about chaga and a few different ways to process it. We talked about breaking it into pieces and using that for teas. We've also mentioned that we can make it into a powder and use that in elixirs, drinks, smoothies, shakes, and consume that whole. One of my favorite things to do with chaga and with many herbs is to tincture it. And tincturing is when we do a liquid extraction, alcohol or water or both, to pull all the medicinal constituents out of the herb and then preserve it. So tinctures usually last about 5 years at least on the shelf. So we can use that throughout that time, whatever way we want. So I've taken the chaga and I've broken it up into small pieces, powdered it, and then I've put it in our jar here. So we've got our powder here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add alcohol. Now we want the alcohol to go about 1 to 2 inches above the herb so that there's no possibility that it can go bad.
Shake everything you got. Good going. Shake everything you got. Shake everything you got. Shake everything you got. Shake everything you got. You want? Shake everything you got.
Okay, so now that we have the alcohol mixed with the chaga, there's just one final thing we want to do here. And that's putting a barrier between the lid and the glass jar, because sometimes on the lid there's a rubber stopper and we don't want that dissolving into our medicinal tincture. So what I've been shown to do by some herbalist friends of mine is we put a piece of parchment paper between the lid and the glass jar, and we cinch that up really tight, and then I always like to make it look pretty sexy, so I just cut off some of that extra material. And then once we have the tincture ready for sitting, it's going to sit for 1 month, and we're going to shake it morning and night. But there's one mistake that every herbalist always makes once, and that's forgetting to label your tincture. So we're going to do that right now. And what you need for that is just some masking tape and a permanent marker or a pen. And what we're going to write on here is the name of the herb. So we've got chaga, the date, so we know when we actually put the tincture in, so we know when it's a month from now. And finally, the alcohol percentage. So I'm using just a straight up vodka, which is 40% alcohol. So I'm just going to write that on here. So there you have it, the chaga tincture, ready to just do its thing and just sit. Doesn't take that long to prepare and provides us with medicine for many days to come. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just place that on the shelf. I'm going to shake it morning and night, twice a day. I'm going to think about how well it's going to help me and how it's going to boost my immune system and modulate it and give me all the benefits of chaga. And then I'm just going to put that down, let that sit for about a month, and then I'm going to press it out using a nut sack, get all the juices out, and then I'm going to take that mulch and I'm going to put it in the freezer. Why am I going to put it in the freezer? Well, chaga has what's called chitin in it, which is a cell wall that's very hard to break down. And in order to break that down, we need to use boiling water, and also a method I've been taught is putting it in the freezer and getting the water inside the molecules to actually burst the chitin open and release the constituents, and then you do a hot water extraction. Then I'm going to take that hot water extraction, reduce it down and down and down and down till there's just a little bit of liquid. Then I'm going to take that liquid, mix it with the alcohol, and I've got a double extraction of chaga. Alcohol extraction, water extraction. and I'm going to get two different sets of constituents, medicinal constituents, from both the alcohol and the water components of the Chaga tincture. Then I'm going to put it in a dropper bottle, and I'll have it whenever I want. If you like this video, please share it, send it to a friend, tweet about it. Let people know about this information. Thank you, and I hope to see you again.